there guys, gals, non-binary pals, GM Potter here. Welcome to my channel where I review books and bookish things. I try to upload on Thursdays and alternating Tuesdays. And I thought today we would continue our Lord of the Rings extravaganza and do The Fellowship of the Ring. This book came out in 1954, and it has a solid 4.39 on Goodreads. I'd give this one five stars. As I said in my Hobbit video, I love The Lord of the Rings. The Lord of the Rings is my favorite universe to play in. I have my Hobbit hole, my Frodo, and my Hobbit here. I'm going to include from when the first movie came out for The Lord of the Rings. Burger King had a kids meal toy, which I will include here, the picture of that, and the 4 goblets that light up with Strider, Arwen, Frodo, and Gandalf. I have those still. I have the original boxes. They do still light up, they just need new batteries. The biggest difference in The Fellowship of the Ring, the book, between the book and the movie, would have to be time. So both books start out on the eve of Bilbo Baggins from The Hobbit, of his 111st birthday, 111, and he uses the ring and disappears, and then quite literally disappears, leaving everything to Frodo. And then in the movie, it seems like Gandalf comes in and says, hey, there's danger, we need to go, like, now, is basically what happens in the movie, and he runs away. And in the book, it's years, and Gandalf comes and goes, and then it's been years and years since he's even visited Frodo, and Frodo thinks all the danger is past. He hasn't used the ring, it's stayed secret and safe, and he's like, hey, I need you to prepare to leave the Shire. And so he arranges to sell Baggin to the Sackville Bagginses and all of this, and he plans to leave the same way Bilbo did on his first adventure in The Hobbit, on his, I believe it's 50th birthday. And he's going to go probably to Rivendell, but he's telling people he's going somewhere else. He's going to live with his Tookish family, and Sam is coming with him because Sam was eavesdropping, and Merry and Pippin are helping arrange to move the stuff that he's keeping to the safe house that he's purchased, and it's a whole event. Like, it's not just he disappears one afternoon and alright, bye-bye. Like, it's not like that in the book. It's thought about and it's prepared for. I would say the second biggest difference is that Tom Bombadil is missing from the movies, and I don't know who decided that was a good idea. I love Tom Bombadil. It's been said by a lot of people who study the Tolkien universes and the Lord of the Rings, and because there are actual scholars for this out there, which I think is amazing, and rightly so, have theorized that he is the exact polar opposite to Sauron. That Sauron is power and mad for power and all of this. And then you have Tom Bombadil that's like, I just want to be a hippie in the woods. I've got my elf wife and I'm happy. Like, he is so... Okay. Like The Hobbit, this one has spoilers. So the One Ring has to be unmade. It has to be destroyed. And at one point they're like, well, couldn't we give it to Tom Bombadil? He would keep it safe. He protects his own lands. He's theorized to be one of the Ishtar, one of the gods. And it's like a thing that Tom Bombadil, what is he? But the thing is, Tom Bombadil cares so little for power that he wouldn't understand or remember or care how important the One Ring is. And so that would cause further problems down the line, that he might just give it away to the first person who asks for it because he cares so little for power that it just doesn't matter to him, and that would be a problem. So there's that. It's also been theorized that he's more powerful than Gandalf, because he basically tells the hobbits, he's like, hey, sing this little song, and as long as you're on my lands, I'll come rescue you. And he does. They sing the song, and like a power takes them over as they're singing the song. They're like, how does it go? They start singing it, and it's described as something taking over them. And then Tom Bombadil saves them and leaves them naked in a ditch, basically. He's like, all right, you're saved. I took your clothes. Bye. And that's the end of Tom Bombadil's story. So I've read this book dozens of times. And the Ringwraiths still terrify me. Like, they get worse in the later books, but in the Fellowship, the Ringwraiths are so terrifying. I read in an interview that Liv Tyler had nightmares from them, from the films about the Ringwraiths, and I'm like, same, except from the books when I was a kid, and still now, as I'm about to be 35. Yeah, I'll be 35 the day after this video goes live, so wish me happy birthday. We're doing a Stephen King book tomorrow to celebrate. But the Ringwraiths are terrifying, and they're this hissing, shrieking, unstoppable, evil menace in the book. And they give me chills. They just make me feel really uncomfy. And they're supposed to, but they're really well written for nameless, faceless evil. Gandalf, his end, I'm putting that in quotes, which is kind of a spoiler in a couple of different ways, shook me in a major way. I knew it was coming. I knew we've got the Balrog, and I knew it was coming, and and then Boromir's betrayal, and then his reaction when he realizes what he's done. I was listening, most recently I listened to this on audiobook because I have kind of a long commute for my day job. I had to pause the book and cry. Like, I was listening to the book, and I paused the book. I was in traffic, so I wasn't actively driving. Just bumper to bumper traffic. And I just had a good cry in my car. Like, it was so heartbreaking and so sad, and just... And then when Frodo tries to leave Sam behind, and Sam follows him and nearly drowns, which there's just this tightness, this ball of tightness in my chest, that this book, even though I practically know it by heart, it still gets to me, and it's still... Oh, and Galadriel, when Frodo offers her the ring, and she's like, no, I have passed the test, I will pass and remain Galadriel. And it's like, what? The gifts she gives are so sweet. Irendul, I think is how you pronounce it. Irendul. To Frodo, and she gives seeds that will sprout a glorious garden for Sam. And Gimli asks for just a strand of her hair, because she's so beautiful and so kind and so lovely that he just wants a strand of her hair. And she's like, all right, bet. Gives him 3, which I believe in the Silmarillion, someone else asked for a strand of her hair, and she says no. And he's now in the stars, if I'm remembering right. I might be misremembering. So it's kind of a middle finger to him, and then a niceness bestowed upon Gimli, which I like it when people are nice to Gimli. I like Gimli. The friendship that blossoms between Gimli and Legolas over the books is just so wholesome and so pure that they're like, I don't like any dwarves. Well, I don't like any elves. And they're like, don't you say nothing about my friend. And it's so wholesome and so sweet and just happy making. And it's a great start to a greater story. It's just a great start to a greater story, and it's the start of an adventure and the start of something utterly fantastic. So, stay tuned. We will go over Two Towers. Again, no restraint on spoilers, because these books are over 50 years old. Please read them if you haven't read them. But we will be talking about Two Towers next. So, have you read Lord of the Rings? Do you love Lord of the Rings? Let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.